Hello, I'm Francesca, and this is your weekly energy and love forecast for the week of November 24th through the 30th. And first and foremost, yay, we made it into Pluto into Aquarius. We survived. We're on the other side now. So, how's everybody doing? How has it been for you? Let me know in the comments. I tell you what, at least for me personally, it was pretty intense starting like a month ahead of time. But here we are now. So a new era. And the big event this week is that on the 25th, Mercury moves into retrograde. I do believe in the sign of Sagittarius. If that's incorrect, let me know in the comments, but I do believe it's Sag. So Mercury retrograde usually lasts around 3 weeks, and it occurs usually 3 to 4 times a year, depending. What I find fascinating about that is that the transformation has 3 phases. There are 3 phases of transformation, and Mercury retrograde is 3 weeks. So the way I view it is like there's a week for each phase of transformation. That's how I view it. And if that helps you, great. If not, great. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest. Use your own intuition as your guidance. You are always encouraged to trust yourself first and foremost, right? And thank you to all my subscribers. And if you're new, welcome, welcome. You're always welcome here. Let me know in the comments where you're viewing from. If you've already done that, and you feel so called, let me know your sun sign. I'm a super curious person, or any other little astrological nugget about yourself. I just love learning about who watches from where and their signs, all the things. All right. So, let us to dig in. So I already mentioned Mercury retrograde, and I know Mercury retrograde can often get a bad rap. And I view it as something positive. Um, for me, Mercury retrograde is more of a time to retreat, review, release, and renew. And so it can be a quiet time. I find that I tend to start cleaning out drawers or closets or do something along those lines during Mercury retrograde. Even in the past, before I became like started tracking things, I would notice the pattern. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's Mercury retrograde. That makes sense. Those closets were getting on my nerves, and I just had to go in there and straighten them up. So it's also one of those things too, where your physical environment can reflect what's going on the inside, right? So as I was decluttering inside, obviously, I was pulsed. I felt the need to then declutter my environment, keeping things nice and organized, tidy. If there's something special you do during Mercury retrograde, I'd love to hear it. Share, maybe something can get something from it. That would be fabulous to be to support each other in this community. All right, so once again, I always just listen to where I'm guided to go, and this week pulled 3 cards, 2 from Power of 3. There we go again. Um 2 cards from the same deck, and then an inquiry card, which once again, there are never any coincidences. It's always synchronicities, and it just makes me mirthful when I see that, because it always aligns to what is going on. And so these cards are to help support you. Any insights to help you throughout this week as you navigate. All right. So without further ado, the first card is the Time Master. And what's interesting is we all know that time is a construct, right? And so the invitation of this beautiful card is instead of thinking of time as like a straight arrow, like past, present, future, or linear, or dates, even though we just talked about dates, but to think of it more as in cycles or patterns. And yes, there might be years or weeks or days attached to it, but to pull back and focus more on the cycle of it, the meaning of that. That helps shift you to be present, because the present truly is the only time that we can maneuver. And at the same time, this is where it gets trippy, it also ripples and reflects the past and the future and all the things. But being present and focusing on the now also keeps you in the flow. And when you're in the flow and you're not holding on to perhaps regrets from the past or coulda, woulda, shoulda type things, or gripping onto the future, like I want X by this date, being in the flow then allows more opportunity, and also allows you to then see those opportunities that you may have missed because you were so focused on a certain deadline. And I see that all the time. Listen, we have enough deadlines with like paying bills and all those 3D things that we need to take care of. So finding that balance within ourselves in the cyclical nature. And if we think about also our bodies in, a cyclical nature as well, just like the seasons change, well, depending where you are in the world. But just like the seasons are a cycle, our bodies are a cycle. So really coming into and embracing more of that awareness of patterns of cycles of time, which once again, it couldn't be any more perfect for us starting a whole new cycle now with Pluto and Aquarius. And then the second card is the Blade. And what I love about the Blade is, first and foremost, it's like a sharpening of mind, body, spirit, the three again. So we're all about the three this week, the power of three. But the Blade, it's one of those things where I see is it's a connection between, like when you point it upwards, it's empowering from above. And then if you point it downwards, you're anchoring that energy into earth. And so you become this magical connection between earth and sky and balancing those energies. The Blade, there's also an invitation to about letting go, cutting ties of anything that no longer serves you, the letting go with the Mercury retrograde. So it's absolutely perfect. As well, like I said, it's always synchronicity on this channel. Absolutely love it. And once again, it's an invitation. So if we approach things as, what's the opportunity? What can I learn? What is going to serve me? What's in my highest good? It really then also helps expand your own guidance, your own intuition, your own power. And what's interesting is there's an overarching theme with both of these cards about being empowered and standing in your power. It takes a lot of power to be in the present moment, to not get dragged into the past, into the future, to really be present. That is the most powerful stance. It takes a lot of power and courage to use your discernment to be open to being more empowered, to connecting even deeper to yourself, and then also discerning what no longer serves and what you're ready to let go of. So very beautiful, very supportive for this week where Mercury starts its retrograde. And then I was guided to pull an inquiry card, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, let's do this." And I know you won't be surprised, but the inquiry card is, what can I let go of? Hello, Mercury retrograde knocking at your door. What can I let go of? So maybe you like to journal. This could be a great journal prompt this week for you. Or if you have a meditation practice or quiet time, or however it resonates for you. Um, and then, or you can do an automatic writing and just write down whatever comes, through right away. Just you can write, what can I let go of? And it doesn't have to be necessarily some huge thing. I think that a lot of times, especially when we are on a spiritual path, we tend to focus on the really big things. But it's also those little things that add up as well. So, and this could be in any area of your life. This could be relationship, whether intimate relationship, friendship, some type of work relationship. It could be something health wise. Maybe you've been thinking about um eating less sugar or drinking less soda, or like whatever. Take it however it resonates for you. This is, once again, just an overall. And then the invitation is for you, if you so choose, if it resonates, to apply it how it fits in your life. You know best. Because remember, your primary relationship is always with yourself. And as you change, then that is going to affect your relationships. So as you become more empowered, perhaps there's a friendship or a relationship that needs to shift, or maybe at work, something's going to shift. Maybe you'll be taking on more responsibility. So you focusing on yourself in a self-full way will then ripple and reflect into other areas of your life. And hopefully they become more joyful, right? And more mirthful as you yourself embrace the joy that you are. All right. Lots of information there. Take what you need, leave out the rest. Have a beautiful week. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, share with your friends, help spread the love vibes around the world. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.